Hey guys, Prangell Gaming here, and today I'm going to be giving you a Millwall analysis video. Now this is Millwall versus Swindon. Now Millwall did end up winning the game 2-0 and it should have been a lot more goals. If it weren't for the goalkeeper Lance Vigouroux, then Swindon definitely would have been smashed about by 7 goals. I'm going to go with that because there were a lot of great opportunities that Millwall should have scored and unfortunately we didn't. But enough about that, and let's actually say what happened in the first half. So in the first half, Martin crossed the ball into Morrison, but Morrison's great header was again saved, as I say, by Lance Vigouroux, the goalkeeper for Swindon. Now, the ball was crossed into the area from the corner from Sean Williams. Now, this was headed to the far post, and then it dropped to Aiden O'Brien. And then they somehow blocked it, and if it weren't for the block, then it would have gone in the back of the net because Aiden O'Brien is very capable of scoring goals. Now, Aiden O'Brien received the ball in his own half. He dribbled up the pitch, and I've got to say he's very good at dribbling. I've noticed that with him. His game has definitely improved. He's a fantastic player, one of the most crucial players that Millwall have got in the team at the moment. So as I was saying, he was dribbling up the pitch. He then laid it off to Gregory, who went and slotted it home to make it 1-0. Now that goal against Northampton definitely helped Gregory's confidence, and he did mean business, and he should have scored a few more goals in this game. He's a fantastic player, and hopefully he can go on and get a few more goals this season, because as I set him a target of 15, because I think if you've dropped down a division you need to score 15 goals if you scored 10 last season. Now again, Morrison had a shot and it was saved by the goalkeeper Vigouroux again. It's a common theme. Vigouroux saved a lot of shots from Steve Morrison, and he should have scored quite a lot. I'm quite annoyed that Morrison didn't score because he's a great player and he's a good attacking player. Now, this time Gregory had the ball down the wing, and then he crosses the ball in, and it was headed away unfortunately, but it did drop to Aiden O'Brien, who rifled that ball into the back of the net. 2-0 it was to Millwall, and it was fantastic. I've got to say, Aiden O'Brien definitely deserved that goal, and it was great to see Gregory helping out in the build-up play, because sometimes strikers don't do that. Now again, Morrison had a strike that was close to going in the back of the net, but it just went past the post. Unfortunately, Morrison just couldn't score in this game. He's fantastic, but yet it just doesn't go in the back of the net. Then Williams crossed the ball into the area. Gregory knocked it off the goalkeeper. Now, this was really weird, and it came down. He laid it off to Morrison, and unfortunately Morrison scuffed the shot straight into Vigouroux's hands because Vigouroux just about got up in time. Morrison really should have taken his chances there, and he was very, very unlucky not to score, as I said, yet again. So, let's move into the second half. Right, so now we're in the second half. The first thing that happened was Aiden O'Brien, he actually dribbled through the defenders. He did really, really well, but unfortunately he used all of his ability to get past the defenders, and he got to where he had to shoot, and unfortunately he didn't have an end product. All he had to do was tap it, and unfortunately even on the stretch he couldn't beat Lance Vigouroux to the ball. Now Swindon's defence was literally all over the place. I've got to say, they really need to learn how to defend a lot better. Now I don't know how their season has been. I don't know how well they've been playing against other teams, but if that's how the defence has been playing, then they might need to, well, practice that a lot more in training. Now, this in turn meant that the ball was chipped over to Gregory, who unluckily again missed a goal. It's a common theme. Millwall are missing scoring again, but as I said, we should have scored a lot more goals in this game, and they were very lucky to get away with it. Now, Aiden O'Brien played the ball to Lee Martin. Now, I'm going to say this. Unfortunately, we do have two Martins, and they do play on the same side. So we've got Joe Martin and Lee Martin, and they both were playing at the same time in this game. So unfortunately, there's a little bit of confusion there. Don't worry. It is Lee Martin. I should say the Martin who has the ball. Now the ball was with Aiden O'Brien. He then played it to Sean Williams, who crossed it into, well, Steve Morrison, who knocked it down, and tragically, and I mean tragically, he hit the post, and it dropped to Aiden O'Brien or Lee Martin. They both swung for the ball, but whoever made contact, I'm not sure. I've looked at it 3 times and I still don't know who did it, but it still hit the crossbar, and unfortunately that didn't go in the back of the net. That was one of our better chances in the second half, and we definitely should have scored from that, but that was just proving that it wasn't going to be for us to score any more goals. And then there is a, well, kind of sad part for this video, and it is that Swindon have parted company with Mark Cooper. they have sacked him. Now, Millwall seem to be a club that play up against the team when they're playing really, well, I could say in poor form. When they're in poor form, a club comes to Millwall, and the club really don't want to lose to Millwall, it seems. And then when they lose to Millwall, they think that as an excuse to sack the manager. Now, I don't know whether that's the truth, but that's how I see it. Now, what about the key players? Well, for Millwall, it was the lonely George Saville. He's been fantastic in that game, and he barely put a foot wrong. He was one of my favourite players, and I was very surprised to see how well he coped with that game. Now, I don't know how he played in his previous game for us, but if he played like that, we should definitely try and, well, keep him. I know Kenny won't let that happen because, of course, Kenny Jackett is the manager of Wolves, but it would be nice to have George Saville at the club. He looks fantastic. Now, with Swindon, it is Lance Vigouroux, that goalkeeper. He made a string of saves that were fantastic and in turn stopped us from scoring about 7 goals, as I said before. Now, Millwall's next game is actually tonight against Blackpool, and we are away from home, so hopefully we can get a win against Blackpool. Now, I'm not going to say anything, but I really would expect us to win this game, as it's Blackpool and they haven't been performing as well as maybe they would have wished to, but that's hopefully where we can capitalise on their misfortune. So anyway, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.